York City. OPEC and its allies will meet tomorrow. We get more about that from Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini.
This is the latest sign that bitter standoff between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates over supply limits may have been resolved. Oil ministers meet at noon p.m. and officials said privately in recent days that a full meeting would only be called if a deal was in reach. A truce would open the way to more oil coming onto the market. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Well, it'll become a lot easier to obtain an absentee ballot in New York. This after Governor Andrew Cuomo signed a bill package on Friday aimed at boosting voter participation. A set of 6 bills, one of them allowing registered voters to request an absentee ballot by letter or email instead of a signed application. One of Wall Street's top paid lawyers is telling his outside law firm to put an end to remote work and force their attorneys back to the office. More from Bloomberg's Charlie Pellet.
According to a company official, Eric Grossman, chief legal officer at Morgan Stanley, recently sent a memo to law firms and other legal services providers encouraging them to bring their lawyers and employees back to the office. Grossman suggested that those continuing to operate remotely risk their relationship with the financial services giant. Morgan Stanley has encouraged its own employees to return to the office by Labor Day. Bloomberg Radio.
Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Susanna Paul. This is Bloomberg.
This is Bloomberg Opinion on Bloomberg Radio. Bring you news, comments, and insights from Bloomberg Opinion's worldwide team of editors and columnists. I'm Jim Grosso. Coming up on the show, why states want to regulate the teaching of history in schools. Plus, how the pandemic exposed weakness in U.S. broadband infrastructure. But first, while political powers fight over infrastructure, the most pressing problem in the U.S. remains the lack of a living wage for all. That's according to opinion columnist Nir Kesar. He says that while a living wage is possible, a few things need to change first, and he's here to explain. So how many people in this country work full-time and yet can't afford the basic necessities?
It's hard to know exactly how many, but I think the number is safely in the tens of millions. And the reason I say that is because there's roughly